Hey guys, it's day 5 of the 90-day challenge to go live on Facebook, and I wanted to just continue a little bit of our conversation about grief. I promise not to cry today. I just wanted to do a bit of a disclaimer. The other day when I talked about how there's no wrong way to grieve, there isn't any wrong way to grieve, but there are two things I wanted to share with you. One is that you have to know the difference between grief and depression. I do have some friends that have actually let their grief get to them so much so that they've gone into deep depressions. And when you get to that point with your grief, that's when you need to seek professional help. You really shouldn't let yourself sink into a depression over it. There's a difference between the fatigue that comes with grief, the typical light fatigue that you find. I find myself dragging a lot lately. But if you don't want to get out of bed and you've got the covers pulled over your head and you don't want to do anything and you don't even have the energy to stand up, that's depression. And so the different aspects of grief can show up in depression, but at a greater strength. They're a lot greater in intensity. So don't get confused between grief and depression. Make sure if you're emotionally and chemically depressed that you get help for that. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that it's okay to let go of your grief and focus on the memories. So for example, you might feel that you need to cry. If you do, that's great, but don't purposely make yourself cry. I have seen people just keep looking at pictures of their lost loved ones and dwelling in the misery. And personally, I find that that's not helpful. I find that dwelling on it just makes it worse. And the best thing to do is try to go about your life. Again, personally, I find that that works for me. And again, grief is something you have to do in your own way. When a few years ago, I remember liking a Facebook page for a little boy that was very ill. And hi, Carolina. And he wound up passing away, and his mother kept continuing the page after the little boy passed away, and she was posting all kinds of sad messages and people would comment on it. And just me, not even knowing the little boy or the lady, I cried and cried every time I read the messages. And I thought, this can't be healthy. This can't be healthy for this mother to consistently sit here and read all of these messages. And it was clear that she was reading all the comments people were writing, and most of them were just supporting her in her grief, not really encouraging her for the future. And so I found that to be disturbing. And so I would say to you, if you're in that situation where you're focusing all your energy on your grief and you're not trying to move forward, that may not be a healthy thing to do. Although, again, you have to grieve in your own way. But for me, I am trying to focus on the positive memories and not let the grief drag me down. I hope that this helps clarify a little bit. The other day, I felt like I maybe should have said that, and I didn't. So I just wanted to add that on for today. I hope to talk to you tomorrow. As always, if you enjoyed the message, click like and share below, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night.